Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ken Frederick Podcast, featuring KFP short number 13, Storytime with Broc and Justin. I want to say thank you for listening. If you stumbled across us on the interweb, check us out at kfpodcast.com, at kfpodcast on Facebook, at Ken Fred Podcast on Twitter, and at Ken Frederick Podcast on all your other social media needs. Also, please check us out on SoundCloud, where we have fresh weekly episodes for your listening pleasure. And now, Broc, for story time, take it away.
It's pretty ironic that this is episode short number 13, unlucky number 13. Because Justin and I had some bad luck over this holiday weekend.
I was going to say this, yeah, both of us had some bad luck.
So we were hosting Thanksgiving at the Atkinson house. We weren't planning anything big or spectacular, just my sister's family. And my other sister was stopping by with her family, but she was going to go with her in-laws to eat and everything. They were just going to pass through and say hi, and then my grandmother was coming.
Uh-oh. Troubles a brewing.
So everything was going well. Wednesday night, we really hauled ass to clean the house up because, as you know, there are 300 pop vinyls in the dining room. So we had to make room for everyone to eat. So I hauled
Where did all those
up.
go?
They're all up in the attic.
That attic is ready to cave in.
It's probably going to eventually. There's going to be a pop landslide someday, and they're just going to come flying down the stairs at us.
Like in the movies when they open a door,
Yeah.
just pop vinyls shoot everywhere.
A bunch of little white boxes are going to come flying
Oh
out.
no, box integrity.
So we started, cooking all the food and everything. We put the turkey in. And about an hour and a half into the turkey, I made the comment like, we're really doing well. The house is clean, everything's cooking. And then all of a sudden Di goes, the turkey hasn't gotten any hotter. It's still at 90 degrees. And at this point, it had been in the oven for a good hour and a half. So I'm like, oh, great. So we pull it out, look at it, and realize the oven's still preheating. It's not getting any hotter. So we call my brother-in-law, Ed, down to come take a look at it.
Good old Ed to the rescue.
Ed knows a little bit about a lot of things.
Just not how to play werewolf.
Just not how to play werewolf. So he comes down. We tear the oven apart. We see it's lit. It's just not. We can crank it all the way up, but the flame doesn't get any bigger.
Okay.
So
How hot was it getting?
It was about 100 degrees.
Oh, jeez. Can't cook a turkey for 48 hours.
Yeah, 3 days later we could have our turkey dinner. But the worst part is we already had everything else pretty much going. We had it ready to go. Just had the only thing we really needed the oven for was the turkey. So my theory was, let's just send the turkey up to my sister's house, who lives right up the road from us. We'll finish everything in our house and just have them bring the turkey back, and then we'll be able to make everything else. Everything will be good. Mm-hmm. I got outvoted on that by everybody. Nobody backed me up with wanting to just do that. We wanted to move everything up to my sister's house, which in the moment I got pretty frustrated, and I posted on Facebook, holidays are stupid, and I got trolled harder than anybody.
God. You got trolled by everybody.
I was dying.
The amount of people that were butthurt over that shit, it was making me mad.
Yeah, anybody in that situation would not be happy. Like, I was so livid, I went up and took a shower to try and cool down. I was just so mad.
Wow.
Because
a cold shower and steam coming off.
Yeah, I was just so mad about everything going on because I'm like, this is terrible. Everything was going so well. But once we got settled and at my sister's house, everything went great. Everyone had a good time, all that stuff. But the trolling on Facebook was just absolutely out of control.
Oh my God, there were people who were like, "I just think it's a rude thing to say," and I wanted to be like, "He's calm down." My God, social justice warriors getting mad about your insulting holidays.
It's stupid.
Oh, it was bad. So
I just like how everyone there was people that took it so personally. Like you were like,
yeah. And if you look at you guys, you and Justin made comments. You'd call me stupid, which I expected. Justin's like, happy Thanksgiving, buddy, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was all people who like don't even associate with me that had an opinion on how I should feel.
Yeah.
And it really
that's the world we live in today.
Exactly, and it just infuriated me.
They saw that post and it chapped their ass. And they couldn't just keep scrolling. They had to tell you why you were wrong.
Yep. And then the one guy with his pity party apology to me, and I just let hang. The guy's like, you need to get on there and accept his apology. I'm like, I haven't said a word other than holidays are stupid. Why do I have to go on there? And
Yeah, what did you do wrong?
I didn't do anything. Yeah. I'm not saying a word to any of these people. They're lucky they didn't all get unfriended or whatever. But
hopefully they're listening now.
I guarantee you they aren't. If they are, then maybe they'll learn something from this.
Make it.
Not making an image of that.
So, fast forward to Monday. I had planned on making something in the slow cooker since we don't have an oven.
I forgot about this.
I'm up in the bathroom, and all of a sudden I hear this loud crash. I thought something flew into the window or something like that. I go down into the kitchen, and in the middle of the kitchen floor is the crock pot shattered.
Just the crock pot?
Just the crock pot.
So did it come out of the metal thing?
It fell out of the cupboard that was sitting in the cupboard, fell out of the cupboard onto the floor.
All by itself.
All by itself. No one else was home.
So you weren't cooking in it yet?
No.
It just came out.
It just came out.
Is it that cupboard that's sort of hanging off the wall?
No, it wasn't even that one. It was one of the lower ones. But the highlight of all of this was the oven repair guy that came to the house on Monday afternoon. He gave me I'm going to be there between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. window, that 4-hour window. He calls me at like 9:30. It's probably going to be closer till noon. I go, okay. He shows up at 1:15. So my entire day was there sitting around waiting for this guy who was the most miserable human being on the planet. I was like looking at myself in 20 years.
Was he an older guy?
He was an older guy. He came to the door. He just introduced himself by his last name. I go, hi, how are you? He goes,
Like,
so
I repair ovens for a living. How do you think I am?
Hey, $20 an hour labor, plus $50 for the house call. He's making a good living, I bet.
What are you going to do other than a house call? Take the oven to him?
That was an option on the receipt.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So this guy
put the oven in the back of the Honda and drive it over.
He just starts taking the oven apart. He immediately diagnosed the problem. And he goes, yeah, it's $70 for the part, $50 for the house call, $20 for labor. So you're looking at $140. I go, sounds fair to me. He goes, well, it's cheaper than buying a new oven. It's like, I wasn't being sarcastic.
He said, sounds fair to me.
Hey, asshole, I already said it sounded good. Don't be a dickhead about it.
So then I go, cool, go ahead, do your thing. I'll be in the next room. If you need anything, just give me a holler. I won't need anything from you. So I'm sitting at the computer just like scrolling through Facebook, trying to throw out some more nets to see if I can catch some trolls. And all I hear is groaning and moaning the whole time.
That's the worst. That pisses me off more than anything.
So whenever it stopped, I went in and realized he was done. I say, how'd everything go? He's like, good. He's like, you're all done. He's like, fired up. It worked. Everything. He goes. And then he just leaves, and then it's like, this guy's great. He was hilarious. But all said and done, I got a working oven. And my friend Glennis gave me a brand new crock pot.
There you go. Too bad it didn't break on Black Friday. Remember how many crock pots
I
were
know.
for sale? Like, everywhere you looked, there was a crock pot for sale.
I got a brand new one, though.
Nice.
That's
So all in all, it worked out
hooked
for
me
you.
up. Yeah, so I thought I had a rotten Thanksgiving until I saw what happened to our friend Justin here.
Oh,
So I'll kick it over to him, and he can share his story.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Brock. And I'll be honest, I did have a good Thanksgiving.
No, it was horrible Thanksgiving.
It was terrible.
This, in the grand scheme of things, this didn't even really bug me all that much, fortunately. So
What, they denied your credit card at the strip club?
yeah, that was horrible.
That's not what it is?
No.
Okay.
So, you know how with like telemarketers now, they've started spoofing like your local area codes.
Yeah.
So you'll get a stupid telemarketer, but it'll look like it's somebody in your neighborhood calling you. Well, because of that, I now don't answer any phone number that I don't know.
Me either. Amen. Amen.
So on Saturday afternoon, when I was driving home, I had just left Bradford. It's about 3 hours and 10 minutes drive back.
And you're listening to like a book on tape the whole way.
No, he's listening to Christmas EDM music.
No, I haven't found the Christmas EDM music yet. I'm still looking. I think I was listening to a
Jingle bells.
I think I was listening to a book.
Yeah, you're probably listening to Ready Player One again.
I probably was.
He was.
Fifth time now. So So a phone number comes up, 412 area code. I'm like, I don't know who this is. I'm not answering it. I'm in the car, whatever. And they didn't leave a voicemail. So I thought, okay, clearly it was a stupid telemarketer. So fast forward about an hour, about halfway through the trip, about an hour and a half into the trip, I'm driving across Route 80, headed towards 79, and phone rings again. With this time, the number pops up. It's my neighbor across the street from me.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, this is weird. Why are Tom and Patty calling me? And
what
now
the hell's Tom and Patty up to?
These people, they're great neighbors. They never go anywhere.
Swingers.
They keep an eye on the house. They're an older couple. They keep an eye on the house. When they know
they know
when I'm gone. They don't cut my grass. The guy who cuts their grass cuts my grass.
Patty cuts his grass.
Anyway, they're really nice people, but at least they used to. I haven't been over to their house for a while because I can't stand it over there. They smoke.
I hope they're not listening.
They smoke like you wouldn't believe.
Go put our new cards in there. Hey, that asshole, we help out.
No, like I said, I love them.
That son of a bitch that never turns his lights on for any holiday.
I can't go in their house because I'm mildly allergic to cigarette smoke, and if I walk in that house, my throat closes. It's terrible.
Okay.
But anyway, their number pops up on my phone. I'm like, hey, Tom, what's going on? And he sounds like he's half dead. And he's like, oh, Justin, I got some bad news. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm, when Tom is calling me, telling me I got bad news, I'm like, oh, God, did one of the neighbors pass away? Did Patty? What's going on?
Patty?
And, yeah. And he's like, there's water shooting out of your yard. And I'm like, what? He's like, they're one of the neighbors just called us. There's a bunch of water going down into their yard. He's like, there's water shooting out of your yard. He's like, we had to call the water authority. And I'm like, well yeah. Thanks. I'm like, where's it coming from? I'm like, I'm thinking, oh my God, is my house freaking flooded?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? And he's like, no, it was the main. The water company's coming. They're gonna have to shut off the water. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. He's like, but they're gonna have to dig up your driveway. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, and they've got the whole front of your house blocked off. You can't get to your house right now.
And the best part of this, Ken, is he had to park the darkness on the street. Which made my night. When he told me that, I was like, yes, the darkness is parked on the street.
I'm surprised you didn't drive down to where he lives just to see where his house is.
I actually text Don. I'm like, hey, you want to move the Civic out of the garage so I can come park darkness in it? He ignored me.
Darkness, everyone.
Spread.
So anyway.
And then he decides to take a 3-hour time-lapse video of this event going on.
Yeah.
He recorded it out his window for 3 hours. It's 23 seconds long.
So,
which you can see now.
Anyway.
Ooh, look at that image. Ooh, another image. Ooh, another image.
No, it plays like a little video. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get home and, I'm pulling up the street, and of course there's a dump truck. There's a big front end loader sitting a backhoe in my yard. They're digging up my street. I had to park 3 houses down. So I'm unpacking my car with, suitcase and backpacks and all this crap, walking up to my house, and the guy's like, hey, how you doing? Good evening. And I'm like, that's my house. Not really a great evening. And he's like, oh, yeah. So here's the story. Apparently, the water mains in our neighborhood, I never have to worry about a water main freezing because they're 6.5 feet under the ground. Jeez. They had to dig an 8-foot deep hole in my driveway.
Holy crap.
You got a body in there now.
So I was happy because where the water shutoff is, it's in my yard. And I have a double wide driveway. If you're facing the house, the left side of the driveway where the water shutoff is the path into my garage. The right side of my driveway is just it's just a parking lane. So the way I'm thinking about this, water was apparently shooting out of the yard. I'm like, oh man, they're digging up the part in front of my driveway. I'm gonna have to drive over that all winter. Well, no, it was lucky. It was the left side of the driveway or the right side of the driveway they actually had to dig up. So they dig this 8-foot deep hole, cut up the cement, dig the big hole. The guy comes and knocks on my door, and he says, "We have a little issue." I'm like, "Bigger than what we had already?" And he said, "We didn't find the leak. We're going to have to dig another hole."
And this one's in your house.
No, so this one was
in your butt.
Then in the yard where the shutoff valve is, which I thought made more sense to begin with. So this is at the point where I go in and I turn on the time-lapse camera. So they dig this big hole, and he comes and knocks on the door again. And he's like,
what the hell time was that now?
This is probably about midnight.
Okay.
Which is 4 hours after I got home. Yeah.
Justin's still up watching Asian porn.
So he comes back. He's like, the leak's not there. He said, so we're going to have to go into the other side of the driveway now. And I'm like, what are you going to do? Like, go ahead, get the shit fixed. I got to poop. I want my water turned back on.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
is it just your house and shut off? Or is
no, they shut off a number of houses in the neighborhood.
So it's not just you.
No.
What are you going to be like? No.
Exactly. So luckily they didn't like dig all the way across the driveway. They just like extended the hole out by a little bit. They found the leak. They were able to fix it. And then they actually got everything kind of put back together by about 2 a.m., I guess. But it's too cold for concrete. So they had to just put this ugly blacktop patch on my driveway so that I could drive over it during the winter. And they have to come back in the spring to dig that up and then lay down some concrete. And
your
then
car's going to fall into that hole.
And they're going to have to do some grading in the yard because they had the backhoe driving all over my yard. And it's going to be a mess. But no charge to me. Like, because it was the main. Like, if it had been between the main and my house, this would be on my dime. But because it was the actual water main for the neighborhood, they have to pay for it.
Did they say what caused the break?
They don't know. Or at least they didn't tell me that they know.
Was it the massive shits that Justin takes?
I think it was all the way to the Amazon boxes that we got delivered to his house.
Which caused the massive break.
Yep.
So then, a little addendum to the story. I'm working from home today, and
a rhododendron.
Somebody rings my doorbell, and of course, when I'm working, I'm always annoyed. I'm like, "Who the hell? The UPS guy just drops the packages off. I don't need to talk to you."
The packages, they arrive every day.
So I go out, and it's somebody from the Water Authority, and he said, "Hey, sir, I'm so and so from the Water Authority. This is just a follow-up visit to the water main. I need to come in and test your water." And I'm like, okay. He comes in, he fills up a little vial with water, thanks, and walks out. So I'm like, what the hell is this?
Drinking poison.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but
they just came and took a glass of water and left.
Not even a glass, not even a shot glass, like this tiny little vial of water.
That's hilarious.
He's like, if I get this many from all the houses on the street, I have a whole cup.
I'm gonna have to fill the pool.
But and Dawn.
Yeah.
Darkness did not have to sleep on the street all night because I was still awake at 2:30 when they left, and I went out and pulled him back into the garage.
Poor baby. Good. All right.
Poor Darkness.
Awesome.
That's why holidays are stupid.
Yeah. There it is.
At least your parents love you, Brock.
No, they changed it. That was been edited to they loved holidays.
Okay.
But they didn't love you.
They didn't love me.
I wondered where that came from earlier. I didn't see that.
Oh, I saw it on Black Friday.
At Toys R Us.
At Toys R Us.
Ken's like, did you see this one?
Yeah.
I said, this one pissed me off the most.
Well, as a person that also has lost both his parents, I don't need a reminder because I'm having a bad day that my parents love me. Guess what? I know that they love me.
Yeah.
I don't need you to post on my Facebook
Amen.
wall.
Yeah.
Let me have a bad day. I'm human.
That's right.
Thank you,
Amen.
Ken.
On that,
Thank you, Ken.
You're welcome.
kiss
Holidays are
someone's
stupid.
mother on the mouth for Ken.
I'll kiss your mother on the... No, not yours, Don.
You can. I kissed my mother on the mouth a couple weeks ago when we freaked out. That's a story for another time.
All right, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe, invite.
Later.